and dig into today, some of my daily routine stuff. I want to share some wins, and then I want to get into what I teased yesterday, which is going and finding a deal on the market and then finding the buyer for that deal and showing you how to play. I would call that sort of transaction alchemy. Creating a transaction out of thin air. You can call it, being a matchmaker, whatever the case may be. You can go and proactively create opportunities right now using whatever assets you have currently. So I'm going to spend from the 9 o'clock hour, 9 a.m. Eastern until 9:45, 9:50, sharing that strategy and digging into that work. Some housekeeping items that I want to dig into first and foremost. I mentioned this yesterday. I'm going to mention it again today. And I actually had a great agent by the name of Cindy reach out for her client. And what I mentioned was the fact that our mortgage team, one of the lenders that we work with, has an incredible refi promo going on from now until the end of the month. We are locking people in. We are quoting people in the mid to low fives to refinance. So if you have a client that's 6.5 or higher, their interest rate is 6.5 or higher, please reach out to me so we can get that client a quick quote and see if we can get them at 5.5, maybe even 5.25. It's a great promo available right now. Please reach out to me. You can DM me or text me. This is what Cindy did. She texted me 717-571-0456, 717-571-0456. The second thing I wanted to mention today and share today is a question I got from Joan. Joan is a great agent who joined our EXP organization recently, and she emailed this question, and it took me longer than I would have liked to get back to her. Usually I get back pretty quickly. Yesterday was very busy. The question is this: when you meet people out and about and get their contact info, do you ask them if you can put them into Bold Trail, or do you just enter them? I'm referencing more of a social setting. And I think the answer, without question, you can ask them if you want, but I don't think there's any problem or concern with entering them into Bold Trail or whatever your CRM is, and at a minimum, setting them up for a monthly market report based upon the zip code of where they live, whether they own the property currently or they're renting it. You can set them up on a market report on a monthly basis. That would be number one. Number two, I would also add them to your mailing list to get your direct mail AI newsletter. And in fact, on my to-do list today is to add to my top 150 list, to add to the bucket of people that are getting my monthly direct mail AI newsletter. I've been talking a ton about that, and I will continue to talk a ton about that because I know that many of you still aren't doing it. And it is the easiest, simplest insurance against the people that already know, like, and trust you, that would do business with you, that would refer you. It's the best insurance against them forgetting to refer you or forgetting to use you because they're not being reminded that you're still in the business and you're still helping and you still offer a variety of services. So if you want help executing on that, we've been helping a lot of folks do it. Get that set up. We have it templated out. All you need is your mailing list and you're ready to rock. So I need to add to that list. And specifically, what made me think of this is Joan's question got me running in my brain and wondering, do I have, my kids, I have 4 kids. Our oldest is in college. He's at University of Louisville. And then our next is in 10th grade, and then in 8th grade and 6th grade. They all play multiple sports. And so that gives me opportunities to connect with different parent groups and so forth. And so my youngest daughter is on a new soccer team and a slightly different softball team. And so I'm connecting with more different parents, and I need to go through. There's at least 3 that I can think of that I need to add to that top 150 list. And when I do that, I'll also add them into Bold Trail for a market report update as well. Okay, that was housekeeping item number 2. I wanted to share, this is a follow-up to something I mentioned yesterday. I was talking about how quickly we get paid direct deposit. And here's how this came about. I was talking about, the more conversations we have, the more closings we have. I'm sorry, the more contracts we have, the more closings we have, the more commission checks we are checking. And then I said, well, I actually don't get commission checks because I get direct deposit. And funnily enough, I got an email from EXP yesterday about real-time payments. We now, depending on who your bank is, meaning where you do your banking, like where your business banking account is, et cetera, depending on who that is, you could get set up for real-time payments, which means literally as soon as your file is reviewed, you'll get a payment like instantly. Pretty wild, pretty cool stuff. So it's one of many, many incredible benefits of being here at EXP. If you'd like to chat about that, I would love to chat, DM, or call or text me, 717-571-0456, or you can schedule some time for us to chat on Zoom. Next up, I want to share some wins because not just to like brag or celebrate, but I want to tie in stories and how you can use the lesson to get more business for yourself. So this morning, we are going under contract on a listing that just went live last week. This client found me online. I'm pretty sure she Googled me. And it was either on Google or she found me somehow related to Nextdoor for some reason or another. And she called me. Her name is Diane. She called and said, hey, do you work in Perry County? Right? Perry County is the county to the north of me. And it's a very rural area. And I said, yeah, of course. And I had just recently sold a property in Perry County, which is how I think I was showing up when Diane was searching for some help. So it's a cabin on 3 or 4 acres with a pond, etc. It was her and her husband. Her husband passed away. It's now her and her son. And so I met her there. I actually met her there twice. They were doing some clean out and so forth. They hadn't been there in a while. Yada yada yada. Okay. Anyway, so we get it live this week, and I'm sorry, last week, and we had 2 offers come in on it. One was pretty low. The other one was a pretty strong offer. It was all cash, no contingencies, inspections, etc. And we're proceeding with that one this morning. They have the docs for electronic signing. What is the point? My point in sharing that? Well, number one, keeping your online presence relevant and up to date. Number 2, answer your phone. Answer your phone. I know personally how annoying it is to get inundated with spam calls all day long. And yet, I am obsessively committed to either answering every call, whether or not I think it's spam, or making sure that I return any missed call. So when I go and look here at my recents, I want to make sure that I'm returning any missed calls. So I have 2 that I have to do from yesterday that must have came in late that I have to return, those 2 red ones. I got to return those missed calls. You never know. You never know. And here's what I would tell you. I have had plenty of calls that said possible scam call or spam call, I forget what it says, that were actual people, that were actual clients looking for help. Okay? Keep your online presence up to date and current, and answer your dang phone. Okay, that was number 1. Number 2, Steve. So Steve is a new client that I got through cold outreach. And in the description with this, I have 3 big buckets of ways you can get more clients outlined for you from your existing database, from cold outreach or outbound, and from cold inbound. Okay, so this is bucket number 2, cold outreach or outbound marketing. And he responded to the script that I've been shouting from the rooftops in these sessions that I'm going to use in my swipe for leads, fresh 5 leads today as well. He responded. It was the script is, would you consider selling your property at address to a private client of mine? So he responded to that. He actually then called me. We had a great conversation. I followed up and followed through with him. I built rapport, and he decided not just that he wanted to sell the vacant land, the parcel of vacant land that I was reaching out to him about, but also a 2-unit property that he was thinking about selling and had already been talking to another agent. We now have a verbal agreement between him and a buyer on the 2-unit before we're even on the market. And here's why I'm sharing that and the lesson in this. So he has this 2-unit. The one unit has been vacant for, I don't know, a month or more. The other vacant the other unit, he had to evict the tenant. And there's still some of the tenant stuff there, et cetera. And I said, and so the plan was to go on the market. The plan was to go on the market probably late September, early October. In the interim, I said, hey, Steve, are you okay if I try and find the buyer off market, right? Like while we're going through this stuff, are you okay with me, seeing if we can get you an offer that'll make sense for you? And he said yes. And so I started to reach out. Actually, I missed a step in there. When I met him at the 2-unit, he said, hey, my property manager gave me the name and number of someone he thought might be interested in buying the property. And I said, okay, I'll reach out to him. And that is what prompted me to say, I'll reach out to him, but are you also okay if, I go and find other potential buyers in the interim? And so I've built a pretty significant active buyer list of folks looking for multi-units in a particular area thanks to that. Anyway, I go back and forth with this buyer, and it's literally been a several week process of verbal offer back and forth, the ping pong. And I think we have, I know we have a verbal agreement for an offer and to settle. And here's the crazy thing. We're going to settle like maybe a couple of days or a week after we were probably going to go on market. Okay. So there's a couple of lessons in here. Money follows speed. Money follows speed. Don't wait around for stuff to happen. I'll give you another story. I've got a listing that is, I put it in the MLS coming soon, early this week. We were supposed to list it today. It's taking him longer than he anticipated to clean out the property. And so he wants to delay the it live on the market until next week. Well, I'm going to still keep working it and try and, find a buyer for it. Okay. So that's another one. Another win that I wanted to share with a lesson is I have an appointment today at 10:30 with this contact. And I don't even remember where this contact came from. So I'm going to look it up here and see if we can reverse engineer where this came from. So let me see here. What is Sellers Direct? Okay. Interesting. Okay. So this lead came from a PPL company, a seller lead company that I'm paying per lead to generate seller leads for me, people that are thinking about selling their property, which there is a document. That's bucket number 3. I didn't even plan it that way, but that's bucket number 3 in the description below. So we have existing database, cold outreach or outbound, and then cold inbound, right? So this was a cold inbound seller lead. And I sent them a postcard because I added all of those leads get added to a direct mail campaign in Thanks, which all of that is detailed in the resources with the description here. Okay. I sent a postcard. Michael, Mary is the contact that came through, but Michael is the husband. He called me. This was a couple of weeks ago at this point, wanting me. I guess he wanted more information to know what we would offer on his property. And it's an investment property. It was a rental property. They had rented it and the tenant left. Okay. So I set the appointment. I go and meet with him. And actually, it was a Saturday morning, and I was taking my daughter. It was close to where my daughter works out. All of our family work out. And so I dropped her off, and I went to the appointment, and I figured, I'll have plenty of time, et cetera. It's close by, whatever. So we go through. I end up hitting it off with this guy. He's a baseball guy as well. He's got 5 kids. We have 4 kids. All of his kids were athletes. We end up hitting it off. And I literally, I feel bad, but I'm trying to end our appointment. because I got to go get Sammy. She's waiting for me, texting me, Dad, are you almost here? So I feel bad in all that, but I have a ton of rapport. In that, I learned that their primary residence is just up the hill. It's in the same area. And he starts talking about, hey, we might want to sell both of these properties and move into something else. So I call him. I follow up with him early. That was Saturday, early in the week, the next week. I think this was 2 weeks ago now. Anyway. And he sends me a property. Actually, he texted me a screenshot of a property that he was interested in. $800,000 property or $775, something like that. And so I sent him all of the info and the details on it, and I didn't hear from him. And I sent him a personal video message, etc. And I should have called him sooner. But finally, I called him yesterday. I said, hey, Michael, I never heard back. I sent you a bunch of info. And he's like, well, I never heard from you. And I said, well, anyway, never assume that people get information that you send them. When you send something important and relevant related to something that someone requests from you, make sure they get it. So I dropped the ball a little bit. I honestly, I should have had this conversation and had the appointment that I have this afternoon last week if I had called him back sooner. Anyway, I called him back. We're scheduled to check out a property that he would essentially trade his two existing into. And that came from cold inbound and just building rapport. And, even though I screwed up a little bit, I still got the opportunity nonetheless. One last win I want to share. I want to publicly give props and kudos to James Brown and my organization. Our organization is growing. We just brought in a fellow by the name of Tom Schoenly. He joined our group, and excited to have him. We had a Zoom call with him yesterday. Tom is in the DFW area, I think Fort Worth specifically. And so we're excited to have him join our group. Okay, now I am going to quickly knock out my sort of my morning routine that I've been going through here with you all and demonstrating. The first thing I like to do when it comes to my daily prospecting, or whatever you want to call it, my daily conversation starting activities, is look at who is checking out properties. So this is the daily portal notification summary that I get from our MLS. And so the first two on here are people that I've been in conversation with. We actually sold this person the home they currently live in. And I know, generally speaking, what's going on, but I haven't heard from her in a while. So I'm going to say, hey, Tammy, morning. Looks like you were checking out a property in the portal recently. Any update to, I'm just trying to think here. I want to match it to, any update from our last email exchange. Okay. So, she had last, I don't know. Well, I can look here. Let me see what the last, so that was early August. So it's been a little over a month. 1, 2, but got a lot going on. Husband retiring, so not sure yet. Okay. I should have looked at that first. Is what I should have done, because then I could have referenced back the husband retiring, but whatever. When she replies, and she probably will reply, then I'll mention it. This, so man, oh man, this illustrates the, this lead is a good reminder to persevere and be consistent. I met Carmela years ago at her house. She was talking about downsizing or right sizing years ago. I met her at the house. I've shown her at least one property, and I think Cosette has shown her 1 or 2 properties. And she just, she's hot and then she's cold. She's hot and then she's cold. So I'm just going to email her here. Morning. Saw you were checking out a property. Curious where you're at with everything. And if you're back in the market. This is one, they're just unrealistic and a bit of a pain, so I'm going to skip over that. This is one I talk to pretty frequently. This is one she's always looking, and she'll call me every couple of weeks to give me an update. I did email Amy yesterday. Travis, I've had recent conversations with. Jamie Arnold. I can't remember. Let me see here. What was? Has she responded to anything? Oh, ooh. Look at this. So July 23rd, she said, I would like to sell my house the next 3 months or so. Oh, this could be good. This could be good. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. Um, Here we go. So let's say, Jamie, morning. Looks like you were checking out a few properties on our site recently. Are you still thinking about selling sometime soon? I know the last time we talked in July, you thought you'd be ready in 3 months or so. Send that. By the way, like I've tried to repeatedly say this, like when I'm doing this stuff, hopefully you're also doing the work as well. Charlene is the one that I've been talking, several times. She on last Thursday's live session, I was replying to her text that she sent about a property. We got her pre-approved. I showed her a house earlier in the week. I've now gotten her sort of turned over to Landon. Okay, Landon. I've gotten her turned over to Cosette on my team to work her. Landon is the one yesterday that I texted because I had set them up on portal notifications. They were the ones that wanted a laundry on the main floor. They were very specific, wanted a laundry on the main floor. And I messaged him to say, hey, are you getting the emails kind of thing? Ethan, I talked about yesterday as well. Ethan was a corporate referral that came in. I'm showing him a house tomorrow. And so let's sit where Kelsey and I take a look. I think that's the property that we're looking at tomorrow. Okay, so that's my portal notification walkthrough here. Oh, look at this. We have new enhancements to Swipe for Leads. This came from Sean this morning. Sean has been working out a lot of the kinks and the bugs with Swipe for Leads. You can get a free 7-day trial at swipeforleads.com. Let's see here. I got a few minutes here where I'm going to go. I'm going to go into my Bold Trail, and I'm going to look at who is looking at properties in Bold Trail. So that daily portal notification, that's people that have had some sort of tangible conversation with to learn more about what they're looking for, the property that they're looking for. And I start with them. In other words, they're, to me, in the timeline of, if you look at, just getting started to, to being close to buying or whatever, or if you want to think of it as a timeline of like, people that I don't know to clients, they're closer to the client timeline. These in here aren't as close in most cases. So like Margaret Seiler, I don't think I've ever talked with her. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull her up here, and I'm going to send her. I'm going to grab her email. And I'm going to send her an email through here. And I'm going to do this with like 5. I'm going to say, Margaret, morning. Looks like you were checking out some properties on our website in Lemoyne and New Cumberland. Are you thinking about making a move this fall or winter? Fire that off. See what else we got here. She was looking at a bunch of them. Okay, look at that. She looked at like 10. That's pretty legit here. Francesca is another one here. Let's look here. So me see what I got here. This looks like that's interesting. I think she originally replied to a job ad that I had running. That's interesting. Francesca. Morning. Are you still thinking about buying a home in the Harrisburg area this fall? Thanks, Josh. Let's see here. Antonio, I think I've talked to Antonio a couple of times, I think. Let's see what we have. What I'm looking for here is the tags, so I have an idea of where they came from. Okay, I have notes here, so I must have talked to this person at some point. Okay, that's helpful. So I'm going to say, morning, are you still thinking about buying a home in the central PA area using your VA benefits? When you're doing this work, the more you can echo back, I mentioned this yesterday, but it bears repeating again today. The more you can echo back something that they shared with you or something that you can determine from their behavior, meaning Margaret, I could tell that she was looking in Lemoyne and New Cumberland mostly. Now, she did look at one in Camp Hill and one in Mechanicsburg too, but mostly New Cumberland and Lemoyne. And so I'm trying to echo that back to her. I'll do one more of these and then I'm going to pivot over to swipe for leads. And then we're going to go try and play Transaction Alchemist. Transaction Alchemist. Okay, so Jenny owns a property and text blast, Cumberland County luxury home report. Interesting. Okay. So here's the approach I'm going to take with Jenny. I'm going to use the script that I've been using. Morning, Jenny. Would you consider selling your property at, what's the address of that? I lost the address. Where is it? Oh, 2455 Brookwood. At 2455 Brookwood to a private client of mine. Thanks, Josh. All right. So if you want a recommended action plan for this kind of work, commit to reaching out to 5 or 10 people like this in your existing database personally on a daily basis. Personally, not just relying on automation and technology and AI and behavioral alerts and so forth. Those things are great, but what they're best at is bubbling to the top the people that you should then invest your personal time and energy into following up with. Next up, I'm going to dig into I'm going to go to my Swipe for Leads account. This is the app on my phone. I'm going to go into my Swipe for Leads account. I'm going to get my leads for today. I'm going to send those messages, and then we're going to dig into playing the role of Transaction Alchemist. Do me a huge favor. If you're getting value from this and like this is helpful to you, these scripts and me just sharing and being transparent about how I'm growing my business, if any of that is helpful to you or you're liking these sessions, please, please, please hit the like button or the heart button. Please subscribe or turn on notifications and give me feedback. What would you like to see more of? What would you like to see less of? I'm an open book here. I'm doing these because I want to help more of you, and it helps me be even more accountable to doing the work, right? I'm just documenting what I'm doing to grow my pipeline, to grow my escrows. I was extremely excited to write a new one on my escrow board, which was Diane's property this morning. And I'm hoping that I'll have another one to write on the board, if not today, maybe tomorrow sometime as well. So is there an app for Swipe for Leads? So we don't have a true app yet, David. It is a web app currently. It's a web app currently. So you can save it. This icon here that I have saved, if you just in Safari on your iPhone, if you hit the box with the arrow button, and then you add it to home screen, then you can have it on your device. Eventually, the plan is that we have an actual web app for it. So I logged into my account. My criteria right now are it's a specific zip code, and I'm looking for tax defaults. And then I need to go and get my Fresh 5. Let's see here. It's going. Okay. So I'm going to heart that one. I'm going to heart that one. I'm going to heart that one. I'll heart that one. And I'll heart that one. So I got my 5 leads. Now I'm going to go to view saved leads. And I'm just going to work my way down the 5. So I pull up the information here. I've got 4 numbers that are all on the DNC. I'm not even going to mess with that. I'm not even going to mess with it. And then I've got I've got email addresses, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I tapped. I've got the email that's pre-populated there. I'm going to get with Sean. I think we're going to switch the pre-populated script that comes up to the would you consider selling your property to a private client of mine, Ryan. Shoot that out. All right, let's go to the next one. I got too many things open on my phone. I had a video open, just janking it up. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next one here. And that's interesting. These are a bunch of out of area phone numbers. So let's see here. I'm going to tap this one. See, it pre-populates in there. And I'm going to change it to would you consider selling your property at thanks. Boom. And there's a couple other phone numbers here. I'm going to send them to those as well. So that quickly, I sent to 3 of the numbers for the contact. And now I'm going to send to the email addresses. Boom. That was 1. That was 2. And that was 3, almost. So right now I'm doing cold outbound, right? So in the description with this, I'm emphasizing the fact that there are really 3 big buckets or ways that you can generate more conversations to get more contracts and more clients. There is your existing database, there's cold outbound or outreach, and then there's cold inbound or, marketing to get people to kind of raise their hand. That's really what it comes down to. And right now I'm doing the easy button that Sean has been able to build out for us all to use here, which is swipe4leads.com to do the cold outbound or outreach to generate these opportunities. So let me see here. I'm going to, look at this. This person owns multiple properties. Interesting. Interesting. So I had reached out to that person yesterday. I am going to personally reach out to that one after our session today because they own multiple properties and they're tax delinquent on multiple properties and they're an absentee out-of-state owner. That's a potentially good lead. Potentially good lead. Okay, so this is next. We're almost done with this, and then we're going to pivot to what I had teased yesterday, a little transaction alchemy. Would you consider selling your property to a private client of mine? Copy, send. And we have a bunch of phone numbers that are not marked the DNC for this one. So I'm going to do all of them. I haven't found a blue one yet, which is weird. Maybe they just love their Android phones. I don't know. I guess some people are weirdo like that. Just kidding. Sort of. I'm a bit of an Apple snob, I guess. And I'm sending the emails now. Again, all I do is I'm literally just tapping and it pre-populates. And the only reason this would be even shorter, I am testing a different script than what is being pre-populated. And I will likely have Sean switch to a different script. And actually one of the things that we're working on in version 2 of the app is that you can choose from multiple different text and email scripts. So you'll be able to, from your profile, choose which script or template is pre-populated for you to send, okay? So I've got one more, I think, here. One more of today's leads that I am going to reach out to. Oh, this guy's mailing address is Louisville, Kentucky. Man, I could go see him when I'm visiting Kay, my oldest. Would you consider selling your property to a private client of mine? And then their first name. And what I'm doing is I'm editing the pre-populated message. And then I'm copying it so that when I tap the rest, I can then just pop it in. So, ooh, this is blue. This is encouraging. This is a blue text. I bet I get a response to that one. I bet I get a response to that one. And there's one more here. That's not blue, but whatever. It's easy to tap and send it. And then, oh, that's interesting. The email does not match. The email does not match. I'm not going to bother with that because the email is clearly a different person, Earl Heyman. And that does not match the owner name. Very, very different. Okay. So, well, next I was going to get right into transaction alchemy, but I'm getting some replies to, in the description, what is the sort of the higher level version of cold outreach that I have detailed and I've been highlighting and talking about repeatedly on these sessions and in our mastermind sessions, etc. You can join our free Skool community. I'm going to drop a link. Join the leads, listings, leverage Skool community for free here. Join this free Skool community. And then if you go to Classroom and you click on replays and you go find the July 9th version, this is like the advanced level, the doctorate level of cold outreach that inspired the easy button of cold outreach, swipe4leads.com. Swipe the number 4leads.com. So and if you need the link to the Skool community, because for whatever reason, I posted a comment, but it doesn't seem to be populating in the Facebook group. If you need the link to that, just shoot me a DM or reach out to me. So that more advanced level from the July 9th, I'm running this often. Like I'm sending out a lot of text and emails to potentially motivated sellers because I have big, lofty goals, as far as transactions go. And I've noticed while live on here, I've noticed that while we're live on here, I am getting replies to some of those. So I'm just knocking out one thing here. Oh, Diane is calling. Diane is the listing that I mentioned early. She's probably struggling to knock out the digital signing, or maybe she did. Who knows? Anyway, here we go. Mario Conti. Would you consider selling your vacant land at 165 Pottsville Street to a private client of mine? Gotcha. Thanks. Any idea how much you'd be looking to get for it? I always, when someone replies to something like that, I always try and get them to give the price first. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And when I say I would say that I've recently pivoted towards doing that more frequently because I want to see how realistic they are on price and to see, if they're legitimately motivated, or if they're just kicking the tires. Okay. Now you can see here that when you do a lot of cold outreach like this, what? Oh, I have a lot of interest in this site. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. So this is a vacant parcel of land. Right on. Any improvements? Has it been perked? He didn't answer my question. He just, you'll get people that say, like Ricky, hell no, like Joel, stop. And like Ryan, no thanks. Anytime I get a no thanks, my standard reply is this. Got it? Thanks, Ryan. If, when anything changes, parentheses, or if you hear anyone talking about selling in the area, please let me know. Have a great weekend. Okay, I just reply something along those lines. No improvements at all. Okay. Yes. Okay. So here's one. Jordan said, it's not vacant. There's a home on the property. We'll be going on the market soon. So here's what I do in that scenario. I pull up my iList. You can get a free 30-day trial at growwithjosh.com/iList, meaning the letter I, L-I-S-T. growwithjosh.com/the letter I, I-L-I-S-T. Or if you need the link, just let me know. I go to cash offers and I pop in the address. 376 Hornerstown. 376 Hornerstown. Well, now I got to figure out where it is because there's a couple of different Hornerstown roads. So let me figure out what city it's in. Hummelstown. Okay. So it's the one in Hummelstown. So it's South Hornerstown Road, apparently. And I can verify, it'll tell me the name of the owner in here when I pull it up, or at least in most cases it will. So I can verify that I've got the right information. I was doing the list that I'm currently reaching out to is vacant land owners that are tax delinquent. And for whatever reason, this person's property showed up as vacant land, but it's clearly not vacant land. Although, yeah, it still says, that's so weird. It's showing as vacant land. You know what? I'm going to call him. I'm going to call Jordan because, and I'm not going to call him now because I don't want to get permission, and because I promised to, I promised to get to a different topic today of me trying to play transaction alchemy. David asked, if all the numbers are DNC, you still send the email, correct? Absolutely, 100%. And I would make the case, I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice at all. I would make the case that even if they're on the DNC, depending on what message you're sending and the fact that you're sending it personally from your phone, it's not a robocall, it's not telemarketing, etc., that might still be compliant and not against the DNC. But David, you're in Texas. Do not do that. Texas just changed the law or added a law recently. Don't do that. But no problem at all to send email and send mail. So one of the other upgrades that we have planned very soon for Swipe 4 leads is that you can tap and send them or add them to a direct mail campaign and send them a direct mail sequence. Okay. All right. I have really put myself in a time crunch. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of trying to take to completely work from scratch, I'll do that next week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find a deal for a buyer that I recently connected with. And here's what's interesting about this buyer. This person, his name is Ben, he responded to cold outreach about selling a property. I think I even mentioned it on here at some point. It's a property that has 2 mobile homes that he is renting that have a shared well and septic. And so we actually had a conversation about that. He's not super motivated to sell those, but had a great conversation with him. Great guy. And he told me very specifically what his buy box is. He also has, he's got commercial properties as well. He said, if you come across a little ranch house that needs some work, I would be interested. And he told me a very specific area that he's looking in. So what I'm going to do, instead of just completely starting from scratch, I promise I will do that next week. I'll do that on a day where I don't have an appointment scheduled until like afternoon, because who knows how long it'll take. And I'll live stream as long as it takes. I don't really care. But what I'm going to do now is see if I can find him an on-market or an off-market deal that might make sense for him. Also, like as I'm doing this, I would love to hear your comments and other ideas that you have for how we can do this. Okay, so I'm going to try a couple of different strategies to potentially find him deals, and I'm just going to talk through my thinking process here. So I'm going to go and share my screen. I'm actually going to start on Redfin. Okay, and I'll explain why I'm going to start on Redfin in a minute here. I'm going to start on Redfin. I'm going to choose Cumberland County, and I'm going to search. And there is a setting, there is a filter on Redfin for fixer upper. And right off the bat, there are 9. This might be something he would be interested in. It's a little older than he likes. That one's probably not actually a fixer. He wouldn't be interested in that. That's probably too expensive. I just wanted to highlight, there's lots of different ways to find potential deals. Okay. Like that's more what I'm trying to highlight here is that like there's more than one solution to finding good deals. Okay. So, anybody has access to Redfin, but most of you watching this, I would think, have have a license and have MLS access. So let's use that to try and find the deal. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go residential sale, and I'm going to go map search, and I'm going to do a polygon search. Kind of loosely the geographic area that he mentioned. I'm going to go criteria. I'm going to go detached 1 level. And I'm going to go built 1940 to 1970. 27 of them. Okay. Wow. Some of them are steep. Okay, so I'm going to filter them by price. Let me do a couple more things here. Yeah, detached, man, that something's funky. Something funky going on there, but I'm going to go days on market 60 plus. I want some things that are sitting. I want to see what's sitting here. This one still is showing up. Let me look at this one here. What's going on with this one? These are terrible pictures. This isn't actually a residential property. I don't know what's going on with that. Let me go back here. I'm going to go 30 plus. Let's go 30 days plus and see what other criteria we get. We got 12. Let me see if there are any. Whoop. So what's this one? What's this one here? 1-3 East Main. It's a 3-1 Big Spring. 39 cash conventional. All right. I am going to give this agent a call. I'm going to give this agent a call. I want to see what is going on with this deal and see if we can get an offer for her.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Ethan, this is Josh Schoenly. I hope I'm saying your first name right. I'm calling about 103 East Main Street. I have a client who might be interested. He's an investor. I wanted to just pick your brain on what's going on with this and see if maybe we could get you an offer that would make sense for your client. Give me a call back or shoot me a text. This is my personal cell phone. So, I mean, simple as that. Okay. And let's face it, depending on your market, depending on, what if your market is still in more of a seller's market, or if it's neutral or a buyer's market, you may or may not be able to find inventory that's going to make sense for a client that is on the market currently. I'm going to look at one more, and then I'm going to show you a couple of other strategies I would call kind of like a little bit more advanced, a little bit. What is this thing? Like a cabin. Man, this is cheap. Let's see here. 2 bed, 1 bed. I think this is one of those. I know these a little bit. I think, yeah, there's a land lease on this. That is definitely not gonna work for this guy. There's one other listing I'm gonna look at here. That price range maybe makes sense here. Let me look here. Paperwork and guarantee that waterproof. It's been listed for 37 days. It's had at least one price reduction, and it is an estate. You know what? I'm going to call Shelly too. We'll do one more call here, and then I'm going to pivot to a couple of other ways that I will deploy to find off-market opportunities. And I'm actually going to tie in. I will actually tie in something from yesterday's session to show you how to do that as well. So stay tuned here. Oh, you know what? I wasn't sharing my screen. Sorry about that, but I was just looking through the MLS. Okay, I was just looking at properties here. Just looking at literally just in my MLS here. There's a lesson in this, folks. 0 for 2 on people answering. Hey, Shelly, it's Josh Schoenly. I am calling about your listing at 477 Madison Ave. I have a client who might be interested. He is an investor, but I just want to pick your brain on this property and see where you're at with it. See if maybe I can bring you an offer that would make sense for your clients. Let me know. You can call or text me 717-571-0456. So how about that? Made 2 calls. Neither agent answered. Answer your phone. Answer your phone and return your missed calls. And I'm not saying they won't, but like, answer your phone. Answer your phone. Anyway, here we go. So what next? What next? Well, let me show you another sort of, I don't know, a little bit rudimentary way, but you could go to Zillow. Okay. Go to Zillow. I'm going to type in Cumberland County, and I'm going to choose for sale. I'm going to choose houses, and I'm going to choose owner posted. And I'm going to apply. And holy smokes, there are none. What is going on here? There are no for sale by owners. This would make sense for him, but not at that price. Okay, so there's no properties here. There's no properties here. Shelly's calling back. Shelly's calling back. Should I answer? I think I'll answer. Hey, Shelly.
Hi, Josh.
How are you?
Sure. Well, I'm good. You know what? I didn't recognize the number, so I thought, well, this is worth leaving me a message, right?
Yep. Hey, Shelly, just so you know, I am, are you okay with me proceeding? I am doing some training for agents right now. And so it is being shared in that way. So I was calling, I appreciate you being okay with that. I was calling about 477 Madison Ave. It looks like been listed for like 5 weeks, couple of price reductions. Can you tell me or catch me up to speed on what's going on with it?
Okay. The only thing that I can see with that is it's dated. It's older.
Yeah.
And there's no central air. There's
Okay.
one bathroom.
Okay.
And that's now there's like a closet in the hallway across from the main bath that could possibly be in half a bath. The owner built this house, so it's just been a while.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
He put that closet in there thinking that he would put a half a bath in someday, but he didn't.
Okay.
It's all brick. It might be the location. I had the signs on it that I was trying to get that in.
Okay. Have you had any offers on it?
No.
Okay.
I had one person that was interested. They had money to put down, they had money for their closing costs, but they didn't have a credit score. So they are working on their credit score, and they wanted to do something probably in October.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm just waiting to see what happens.
My guy would be all cash, no contingencies, no inspections, no nothing. I mean, it would be no nonsense. He'd close as soon as, we get clear title. Do you have any sense how much room there might be?
Actually, I don't.
Okay. All right.
I did, I've never asked for that because, that could change from one day
Yeah,
to the next.
totally.
I know that she will look at offers.
Okay.
But because her parents built the house, her sister lived in the house.
Okay.
My seller lives in Maryland. The sister passed away.
Okay.
So part of it is an estate, and part of it is that my seller is the actual owner.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm gonna get the info over to my guy.
Okay.
I'll see where he's at, and depending on where he's at, would you be open to throwing out a verbal, or do you want me to write it up regardless of where he's at?
I can do a verbal.
Okay.
That would be just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need to feel out where she
Sure.
is with that.
Sure.
Whether or not she would do it. Okay.
Beautiful.
Sounds good to me.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Shelly.
All right.
Bye-bye. So here's what I'm going to do. I was going to tell you what I'm going to do, but why don't I just do what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to record a personal video message for Ben, the buyer. And then the last thing I'm going to do on the live stream here before I go so I can get to my appointment is I'm going to show you how I can laser target potentially motivated sellers that fit the buy box that Ben had told me. Okay, I'm going to show you that before we wrap up here. So stay tuned. If that was helpful in any way, please help me out. Hit the like button or the heart button or whatever it is, subscribe, etc. That was fun. I appreciate that that Shelly was okay with recording that. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm gonna say Ben. And now he told me, yeah, this is Franklin County, but it's still the general area that he had mentioned. So I'm gonna. Hey Ben, it's Josh. I just talked with the listing agent on this property in Chambersburg. I know you mentioned Western Cumberland County, so I'm not sure if you'd be open to this. I mean, it's in that general vicinity, but it's an estate property. It's a one owner property. I mean, you know, the agent was very transparent with me. They have not had much activity. They've not had any real offers on it. I told them that I was going to share, or her, that I would share this with you, and that if you were interested, it'd be a no nonsense offer, and she would be fine with a verbal, starting with a verbal. If you would be interested in checking this one out, let me know. I can send you the additional info on it. The other thing I wanted to let you know is I am working on finding other off-market motivated sellers that fit the buy box that you mentioned, to see if we can, find something that would make sense for your next project or deal. So let me know if you'd like me to send info on this, and if not, hopefully I'll have some other possible deals for you in the next day or few days, let's say. So I am going to, I love Loom. I love Loom. I'm going to say for Ben from Josh, estate sale in Chambersburg. And one of the things I love Loom for so many reasons. I love that I can toggle a switch to remove silences. Now there were no silences in that, but then no matter how hard I try, I say and look at that, 18 filler words in a 70-second video. I mean, that's ridiculous. And you can just, the AI built-in tool here will do that. And then the tap here button, I'm sending it to my contact card. I'm going to text this to Ben. And here's an example of how you can control the opportunity flow in your business. I did not know Ben before Monday. It's Thursday. And now I know him. I've had multiple conversations with him. He told me what he's doing. He's legit. He owns a bunch of properties. And I know what his buy box is. And so if I find him a deal, he's going to relist it with me. And also when he's ready to sell other properties, I'm the guy. Hey, Ben, check this out when you have a minute, and let me know if you'd like more info on it. So I'm just sending that. Another great thing that I love about Loom is it does the little preview, right? So that is sending in preview mode like that. Okay. All right. To wrap up, I'm going to come in for a landing here. I'm going to now go, knowing Ben's buy box, I am going to go use PropStream, which is one of my favorite tools. I reference it often. We have their head trainer on our Wednesday masterminds often. His name is Burton. I'm going to drop a link. Grab your free trial with PropStream So I'm gonna drop this in here, and then I'm gonna go and show you how we're gonna find Ben a good deal. growwithjosh.com/PS, and then email me at josh@growwithjosh.com for free marketing credits. Boom. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen so I don't forget to do that. I'm going to go into PropStream. I'm going to log in. For those of you, I promise on one of the lives next week, I'm not going to do it on a Friday because Friday is a terrible day to be reaching out to investors, and I don't want to do that. Early next week, probably Tuesday, I am going to go and find a deal on the market. I'm going to have conversations with, like the one that I had with Shelly, to see who's, where there's a deal. Actually, if Ben is not interested, what I'll do is I'll probably try and find a buyer for that deal. and I'll show you the different tools that I'm doing with that. And I do it today, but I'm running short on time. We'll see how much time I have left. I may go. I'm going to show you both ways, right? So I have the buyer. I'm going to find the deal, and I have a deal or a possible deal. How can we go find the buyer? I'm gonna attack it from both angles. I might have enough time to do that here today before we wrap up. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out here because I know geographically where he is looking for a deal. Okay, I know geographically, and what I'm going to do, this pencil up here, I'm going to draw the polygon. So I'm drawing a polygon here, and then I'm going to hit search. Ooh, I didn't know that. It was too big of an area. Well, that stinks. All right, well, I'm just going to put in Cumberland County. He said Western Cumberland County, but I'm just going to do all of Cumberland County, in part because I know how to dispo. If I find a deal that doesn't work for him, I know how to find the right buyer. All right, let me refresh here because I think it's getting a little confused. So I'm going to put in Cumberland County. First thing I'm going to do, I don't want it to be on market. I am specifically looking for off-market deals for him, okay? Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to property details. We want it to be residential. We want it to be single family. And I want year built, 1940. And I'll go 1980, 1940 to 1980. And I want max 1 story. I'm looking for single story homes, okay? So right now I've got 14,781. That's still a lot. I'm going to go to owner information and I'm going to say individually owned. Still 14,000. Now I'm going to go, I want it to be, I don't know. I'm going to play with the years of ownership. So anytime you do years of ownership and you want it to be like 10 or more years or 7 or more years or 20 or more years, make sure you also choose include unknown sales date. Include unknown sales date. Okay. Now I've got 9,000. Still a lot. I'm going to change this to 20 or more years of ownership. Now I've got 6,400. Now we're getting somewhere. I'm making progress here. This is a pretty good starting point, but I'm not done yet. So let me see. I want equity. I want equity. So we need to have at least, where is it? I want at least 50% equity. Okay, so still 5,992. Okay, now what I'm going to do is yesterday, Rob Ryan had emailed me and he asked me for the quick filters that I had shared or had teased on a past mastermind session and how I use those. So yesterday I shared it briefly, like from a theoretical standpoint. Now I'm actually going to do it. So number one, I'm going to click tax delinquent. There are 250 homes that fit this criteria that are also tax delinquent. So what I'm going to do, so I've got 250. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to select all. I'm going to do actions, save, create new. We're going to say Cumberland County ranch homes distressed. I'm just going to call this distressed, and I'm going to do today's date. Okay, so that's my bucket. That's my marketing list. And so far, I've put in that list, in that bucket, these 250 tax delinquent properties. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to choose. I'll choose pre-foreclosure. There are 10. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna select all. I'm gonna go to actions, save, and now I'm gonna put them in that same bucket. I want to have one bucket here to work through. Where the heck is it? There it is. Boom. If you can't tell, I use this a lot. So now I've got 260. Now some of them might be overlapping, meaning they might be tax delinquent and pre-foreclosure. So there might not actually be 260 properties in there. We'll find out at the end what the total number is, but I'm just going to work my way through these quick lists. So tax delinquent, pre-foreclosure, those are the first two. Now I'm going to go pre-probate. Pre-probate. There are 52. So I'm going to select all, save. Oh, Michael's calling me. Good morning.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good.
I tried texting you. I don't know if you got it.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Are we still on for today?
Oh yeah, I was gonna text you when I'm leaving. I'm gonna leave in about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. Which number do you use?
717-571-0456. I do see your text message now.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, no, you can call back to the conservative.
I can explain what the listing agent told me on what the scoop is on it on the ride over.
Okay. But yeah, no one called me back.
Yeah, I mean that's typical. It's a state organization, right? I mean, it's not all that uncommon.
Okay. I'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks, Michael.
Bye.
Bye. I wanted to answer that because I didn't know if he was maybe trying to reschedule or something. Okay, so now we've got we did pre-probate, tax delinquent, pre-foreclosure. Let's do liens. There's 0 on the liens list. Not all that uncommon. Let's do bankruptcy. There are 7 on the bankruptcy list. I'll add those. Save. Cumberland County. Man. There it is. And vacant. There are 26 that say they're vacant. Interesting. Save. I think this is going to end up being more than 5. I had said there were 5, but I'll add them up here at the end as to what the big buckets are. So we went through. What do we got? We did tax delinquent. We did pre-foreclosure. We did pre-probate. We did bankruptcy. There wasn't any on there. Oh no, there was a couple on bankruptcy. There was no liens. I did vacant. Lastly, we'll do zombie. No zombie properties. Zombie is vacant and pre-foreclosure. That's their delineation. And then there are 548 marked as tired landlord. I'm gonna select all of those. Save. And boom. From a time crunch perspective, let me walk you through what I'm going to do next. Actually, I'll do part of this and then I'll walk you through the remainder of it. And honestly, walking through the remainder of it, this walks through it end to end. This replay is going to be exactly what I'm going to do with this, the rest of this data. Ben did message back as well. We're going to have a special guest on tomorrow's live stream. Hank is going to come on. He wants some help with some landing pages and strategy and marketing to grow his database from that. So that'll be fun. And then Ben, who is the investor, best email for you. So he is interested. He wants the MLS info on it. So that's cool. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. And then I gotta wrap it up. So I'm gonna do the skip tracing portion. So I go over here and I go skip trace, select contacts. I gotta find the list that I just built here. Find the list that I just built. Right here. It ended up being 830 properties. I'm gonna select all, and then I'm gonna select all again, hit done. I'm gonna choose re-skip trace because I skip trace a lot of data. I'm doing a lot of cold outbound here. This is $0 because I have the $97 account and I have a $27 add-on that gets me 25,000 skip traces per month for free. That's pretty bananas. I'm going to go place order. I accept. Now, I'm going to talk you through the rest of this and then I need to hop off because I got to go pick up Michael for our appointment. For some reason, he wanted me to pick him up. Old school, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. So once I get the skip trace data, and I know I'm like beating a dead horse here, but this is all I outlined. Like I did all of this end to end on that replay from July 9th. I take the skip trace data and I use AI, ChatGPT or Manus, they both will do it, and I clean the data. I remove the DNC numbers, okay? Then I upload it to my cold outbound CRM. The CRM, it's a version of Go High Level that I use for text and email outbound in mass, okay, that I send, I drip them out, okay? There's a couple more cleaning steps I do in there to validate phone numbers and validate email, and then I will do that outreach. And in this case, because I'm reaching out for a specific client, here's the script I'm going to use. Hey, David, would you consider selling your property at street address to a private client of mine? His name is Ben, and he's looking to buy another property before the end of the year, something like that. So I'm making it more personalized and relevant. It's not just like, spammy, scammy, etc. And when you do that, you tend to get higher response rate. So that's what I'm going to do with the remainder of that. I will certainly update you on, if we get any opportunities from that. I'm going to get Ben the info on that deal. I'll get you an update on Michael tomorrow. And then we're going to have tomorrow morning, we'll also have a guest. His name is Hank Purefoy. He recently joined our EXP organization, and he's looking for some help strategy-wise that I thought would be great content to share here for specifically, he wants to talk about creating landing pages that he can then use to capture more leads, to generate more leads, specifically leveraging free strategies. So like Facebook groups and things of that nature. So I'm going to dig into that. Hope you'll join me for that tomorrow. As always, please like, share, comment, etc. And I'll put the emphasis on share. Please share this with others in the industry if you're getting value from these. I would also love your feedback. I would like to see you do more of this and do less of this. Or can you show me how you do this or whatever? You can email me, you can DM me, or you can call or text me directly, 717-571-0456. 717-571-0456. Please, please, please get your free trial over here. Your free 7-day trial, swipe4leads.com. Check out all the other resources in the description above or below and take action. Take action. Do the work. Do the work. Do the work. You will be rewarded. See you tomorrow.